Hey there, all you creepers and reapers. Welcome to another episode of the Femme Fatalities. I'm your co-hostess, Anna, and I'm here with...
Hey, grief leans and fright leans. It's Margaret. Welcome to another cast. Anna, what creepy crawly movie are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about an oldie and moldy, fantastic little film featuring a young Sid Haig, and it is called Spider Baby.
Yes.
So, we want to add a little bit more fun to the podcast. We're going to start kind of watching some of the oldie moldies and talking about them a little bit more, and some other things are coming, so definitely stay tuned. Before we get into it too far, there are some triggers. So we do have arachnids, also cannibalism, murder. What else?
Mental illness, greed. There's a death of a cat that happens off screen.
And there's sort of essay, but I don't know. I think the thing with Ralph and the lady and the negligee, it's just weird. I think it's more weird than an assault.
Yeah, this is a weird movie. So I guess we could say that is trigger warnings. This is, it's weird. It's bizarre. It's very entertaining. But you're watching it kind of being like, what's happening? Like,
yeah.
Really?
Of the time. Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah. And spoiler alert, here we go. We're about to do a quick synopsis. So if you haven't watched it and you're interested in watching it, go ahead and come back. Not sure if you want to watch it, listen, and then decide if you do. So essentially, we meet a family. They have some sort of genetic syndrome that causes them slowly to go back to their baser instincts, defying the laws and walking the line of madness, and eventually they become cannibals. So Bruno, who is, I guess, like the house manager, I guess we could call him, he has been tasked with taking care of the people that have progressed strongly in the mental illness and live in the basement. And then also the patriarch of the family's children. The family name is Mary, so it's Mary syndrome. And then the patriarch has died, or so we presume so. And there are some other family members that are non-afflicted that want to work on settling the estate. So they show up, and of course the children, Ralph, Elizabeth, and Virginia, are trying to behave as though they're quote-unquote normal, but we soon see that they're not too good. They're going to blow their cover pretty quickly, and it ends in a blaze of glory in terms of the solution that poor Bruno has to come up with. And then there is going to be kind of that shock ending, but it's not super shocking because it's like an old movie. But I thought it was really well done. For what it was, I enjoyed it. Definitely, if we want to look at this in a deeper, more thanatological way, we could certainly talk about generational trauma. Certainly, I think that the movie actually illustrates, too, if you look at a family dynamic, each subgroup within a family or lineage is totally different. Like, my family, you know, we're carnivores, right? So, and then let's say my aunt and uncle and their kids, they only eat fish and eggs. And then another side of the family, they're vegan, right? So same lineage, but very different lifestyles and choices. So definitely speaks to that as well, and how it's surprising. So I guess the example I use is if I go to my family members who are vegans to eat, and I'm unaware that they're vegans, I'm going to be really shocked when I sit down for dinner. And I may not know what some of the things are, and some of the things are going on. Also, you know, the creature comforts that I'm used to in the home, no leather furniture, no beeswax candles, etc., etc. So I think that's something that we really see in the movie if we dig a little bit deeper.
Yes, I love how you touch on the different dynamics depending on the household, where the household's located, what each family member took away from their childhood, how they're raising their children, those differences, and also famologically, when grief, I don't even want to say grief, when death happens in a family,
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes what happens, sadly, is that people get greedy. They feel
Yeah.
entitled. Oh, my brother died. Since I'm the sister, I should get his estate. I'm the child. It's my father. I get the estate. And how people show up, and then the underhanded things that they will do,
Mm-hmm.
missing that your niece and nephew, like these children or cousins, are not okay. And I love how you touch on, right? Oftentimes, we dismiss it. Oh, it's because they're vegan. It's because they're
Mm-hmm.
carnivores. It's because of this. I mean, like, whoa. Like, it's fascinating when you get a family together and you're like,
Yes.
how do these people raised in the same household can be so similar and so different at the same
Oh,
time?
absolutely. Yeah, it really is. And I think it's interesting too that you have some kind of familial groups where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they're definitely all related. They act like each other. They're all very similar mannerisms. And then some, it's like, you guys know each other? And then you find out that they're related, and it's like, oh, okay, because just the differences. And, if we really want to dig even deeper into this movie, making meaning by carrying on tradition and, I think that we see that there, maybe not the most ideal way of doing so, but certainly memorializing the family that you've lost, because the elders in the family that are residing in the basement, they have been lost. They've been lost to this disease. So even though physically they're still there, mentally they're no longer capable of interacting in what's considered to be an acceptable, standard, normal way. Um, so I think by caring for them in that state and making sure they're still able to exist, Bruno's kind of memorializing them when they're still alive in a sense. Um, and I wonder too, like our characters, the children in particular, Ralph, Virginia, and Elizabeth, this is all normal to them, right? Because as you mentioned, they grow up in this house. These are things that they're used to seeing, and then the strangers come in and find it to be extremely abnormal. Although I will say, this has nothing to do with thanatology. However, the fact that these children, because I assume they're like adolescent age in the movie, can just kill freely at will and not think twice about it, absolutely fascinated me.
Yes. Yeah. Like they could be their own case study.
Yeah.
And that, like, people were so, well, the one guy, I can't think of his name, who came with the lady that just wanted the money, who was actually like
Mm-hmm.
trying to befriend the kids and like trying to be like
Yeah.
really friendly, like, okay, like I'm new to this family. And how often does that happen too when you are the
Mm-hmm.
outsider? So you're going to your partner, your friend's family, and they've already maybe warned you, maybe haven't, and you're just, again, you're open, you're curious, you're like, oh, you
Mm-hmm.
like spiders? Okay, cool. You want to play spider? Okay, cool. You don't know any better. So that would,
Yeah.
like, I don't, like, he could have probably fit in right in if they were like, yep, now we're going to kill and feed grandma and
Yeah.
grandpa. He might be like, this is weird. Okay, I
Yeah.
guess I'll do
Right.
this.
Sure, why not? When in Rome. But you're right. It is very interesting trying to fit in when you meet like new family. Um, it's definitely quite an experience, and I was a little confused. Maybe you can shed some light on this. When the guy that fit in, the woman that he had come with, which I'm just going to call her the negligee lady because I can't remember her name, and and she's wrapping around in one for a good portion of the film. So easy to identify if you watch it, listeners. Were they an item or were they siblings?
I am not sure because that was a weird relationship. I think
Mm-hmm.
at first I thought they were an item, but then I was like, maybe
Me
they're
too.
not. I don't know if they ever
Yeah. No,
clarified.
they didn't, and like they were just like communicative and like around each other enough to be like, well, they obviously know each other, but you don't know how. So I'm kind of assuming, especially because the guy is like sweet on the attorney's secretary. So I'm like, okay, they must have been like siblings or cousins or something.
Yeah, I think you're right because then she's also planning on seducing some of that negligee. That was, I don't know if the filmmaker was like, I want to have a woman in negligee because wasn't it like
Yeah.
a deceased person's negligee? Like she's going through
Uh-huh.
their closet and she's like, "Ooh," and I'm like, that's weird. And then like, and
Weird.
what is she? I was like, I think this filmmaker just wanted to have a woman in negligee and had to get her in it
Mm-hmm.
somehow.
Yeah. Well, and she just kept getting stranger to me because the whole like putting on somebody's who's dead, like their underpinnings, that weirded me out a little bit. And then also, like Ralph takes her and whatever, um, has time with her, and then she comes back into the house, and it's almost like she's like into it, but then she attacks him, and it's just a very strange behavior to me. I'm like, because if I woke up in the woods half naked, I would be getting out of there. Maybe
Yeah.
that's just me.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a bizarre.
Yes.
If viewers, listeners, if you've watched this, please share your thoughts, your ideas. This is a bizarre
Mm-hmm.
movie. It is of its time. This is an early
Mm-hmm.
horror film, and it is just,
Yeah.
just disjointed, confusing. It doesn't make sense. The storytelling even feels like, oh, I just want to throw this into my
Mm-hmm.
story. I'm going to put it in there, and horror's not that big of a genre, so I don't have to maybe make this make sense. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was, maybe it
But
was
in the
touching on
same
the
way,
madness.
yeah, but in the same way, it's very enjoyable. Like, I
Yeah.
really liked watching it.
Mhm.
It was something different. Definitely different than the norm. And, yeah, I would say on the oldie moldy scale, I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Like, I enjoyed it. What about
Yeah,
you?
it was entertaining. I don't know, maybe 6, 7, because it was entertaining. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, this was,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Which is very different. Yeah. So,
yes.
listeners, if you are looking for something different, maybe you're having family over that you've never met before and you want to weird them out, show them this movie. It will be highly effective. And if you have seen it, let us know what you think. Is there anything that you caught that we didn't talk about? If you want us to talk about more movies that are oldie and moldy and bizarre and fun, let us know. And in the meantime, make sure you eat your coffin cookies, drink your bruja brew, and howl at the moon. But don't forget,
Like, subscribe, follow. Thank you for watching and listening.
bye.
Bye.